I'll teach you how to steal your competitors' prospects on LinkedIn. Just a few weeks ago, I stole 3 of my competitors' prospects and turned them into booked calls for my agency. The strategy is proven to work, and I'm going to teach you how to implement it for your B2B business. So let's get into that now. Okay, so first of all, got to go to LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you don't have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, this is going to be a lot harder to do. So first of all, we're going to go to leads. We're going to go to lead filters. And then we're going to open this up. Now, the most important part of this, you must be connected to your competitor. If you are not connected to them, you are not going to be able to steal their audience, unfortunately. So, we are going to go to right here, connections of. And then you're going to type your competitor's name in. So, right now, I am going to do Matt. Let's see. We'll do this. I don't know actually how to pronounce his last name. Matt Lakajev. I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. I love him. I'm connected with him, but he is one of my competitors. In the LinkedIn kind of content space, DM space as well. But basically, what it is going to do right now, it is going to show you all the connections that he has. So he has 324 connections right here that are maybe active. I'm not completely sure. He might have more than that, but they're not a part of this Sales Navigator list. So now, because he's my competitor, he's most likely going to have the audience I want to target, which I can already see just from the first few. They are. I target co-founders, founders. This one isn't. Founder, CEO, like co-founder, CEO. Like these are all people that I would like to target and work with. So now, what I'm going to do from here, because I've already kind of scraped that list, is just pre-qualify them a little bit further. Because, like, for example, I don't want Nicholas here because he's a ghostwriter. Like, that doesn't help me. He's not someone I would reach out to. He's already doing kind of what I'm doing. So we're going to go to company headcount. I'm going to target anyone that has 11 to 500 employees, because these are going to be the people that are not just like new companies. They're going to be more established, and hence they're going to have more revenue per year, most likely. So we're going to do that. We're going to do current job title. We're going to do founder, co-founder. I'm also going to do CEO and president. These are kind of my go-tos right now for people that have authority to respond to my message, get booked calls, and kind of get deals rolling. So we're going with that. Everything else up here is just not that big of a deal. You can obviously qualify a little bit more, but it's just not worth it, in my opinion. You can do posts on LinkedIn. That's nice because you get more active people. But once again, we just don't need to do that. Geography, United States. Boom. Okay, so now you're already starting to see, okay, now there's only 51 results. So we're getting 50 hyper-qualified people right now that are all founders that I can outreach, that are all going to be interested in my service potentially. So now, what you do with this is you're going to click select all. You can do industry as well. I can kind of target anyone because I can pretty much work with anyone because of what I do. I write content, I do outbound, pretty much works for any industry. But if you want to go further into industry, go for it. That is going to help your messaging hit a little bit harder as well, obviously. So what we're going to do from here, select all, save to list. We're going to title this stolen prospects. Boom, create and save. Okay, so those 25 just got added. We're going to go to page 2, select all, save to list, stolen prospects, and then go to page 3, which is our last prospect here, save to list. Stolen prospects, there we go. So it added 43. So some of these maybe weren't active, or maybe they were already on a current list. I'm not completely sure why that didn't add. But now we have 43 people that we can target that are extremely qualified for our service because they've already connected with people, or a person, Matt in this case, that they're already like, they understand what he does. So they're going to be more likely to respond to my messaging. They're going to be more likely to purchase my service if they aren't already working with Matt, for example. And it's just going to lead to a lot better, higher quality conversations and obviously conversions as well. And then you can do this with more and more people. You can add, or you can remove a connection, now that we've already added them to the list, we can add another connection. Not connection in, connection up. Let's just do Alex. We'll do Alex Campbell. See how many he has. And then you already have all of your qualifications, and then you can just start to save these now. Boom. And now you've created an awesome list from the top of the top prospects. All you do from here, you go to leads, you go to stolen prospects, you go to right over here, you're gonna have the option to connect with him. Most of these people I've already connected with. It's like this person right here I haven't connected with. Can't connect with him, that's why. Let's find somebody. There we go. No, can't. Actually, I think my connections might be out for this week or for this month. Maybe that's why it's not showing up. Anyways, you connect with them. Once they accept your connection, then you go and send them a DM. Okay, so now kind of for the bonus section of this video. So I'm going to teach you kind of how to handle the inbox and how to kind of use the CRM that is built into LinkedIn already. So first of all, you need to know whenever you get a positive reply, you want to book them in on a call immediately. So for the most part, somebody receives a positive reply and they'll send a calendar link to book a call. This is creating way too much friction for these higher end businesses. They don't have time. So what I do instead is I will suggest 2 times that work for me already, that are a few days ahead in advance, and then they can pick from one of those 2 times what is the best for their current schedule. And then once they pick those 2 current times, then I just grab their email and I send them an invite. They accept the invite, boom, we're already done. It's so much easier just to respond with like Thursday works instead of actually having to go through your calendar invite, put in their email, their phone number, their company name, maybe fill out some questions that you have to qualify them. You can qualify them on the call a lot easier. Or what I've been doing is sending a qualification form kind of after this, which is really just a bunch of videos that go over like what my pricing looks like, the ranges of it at least, what results they can expect, how long it takes, what my process looks like. And then just last week, a prospect actually disqualified himself from watching those videos without me having to go on a call and waste my time with them. So that is my kind of disqualification process. Now, if I have cold traffic that is coming to me, yes, they're going to be booking out a form and then booking in the call with me. And they have to kind of go through that because they're the cold traffic. I'm not reaching out to them. They're interested in working with me. In this process, I'm more interested in them. So they become the priority. Make it frictionless, get them into a booked call, and then show why you're the priority and close the deal. So what I do once I get a positive reply as well, outside of just booking them in a call, is I'm starring the conversation. So the reason I star the conversation is because if they ghost me, or maybe they're just not interested at that time, they need 2 months, then I can always go back to my starred conversations that are all my positive replies and easily follow up with them. So that's why I star that. It's kind of like I was talking about before, it's a built-in CRM where you can start conversations that are relevant to you, get back to them whenever you need to. Now, I don't use this anymore because I do so much outbound on Twitter, LinkedIn, and other stuff as well that I kind of want everybody together so that I can more easily send like follow-ups on calculated days. But if you're not doing like a ton of outbound or you're just using LinkedIn to do outbound, just keep it all there. It's way more simple. And I used to do this for quite a while as well until it just got too big, too hard to handle. But yeah, start the conversation to keep them kind of in your loop. Makes it a lot easier to follow up. What else did I want to go over here? Okay, so now for like kind of the negative side of this. If you get a negative reply, do not cause problems. You don't need to question them too much. Like, oh, why don't you want to do this? Like, don't do that. They're not interested. They're not a quality prospect. Let them go. Say, no problem. I'll talk in the future potentially. Like, kind of foreshadow that, hey, you're still going to be around a little bit. But don't push them too hard. Otherwise, you're going to end up with prospects on calls that aren't qualified or they are going to be terrible clients because you kind of force them into the deal. Not that you can't push a little bit if you think you have something valuable for them, but you got to give value to kind of make them see that your service is actually relevant to them. So whenever you're sending or whenever you get a negative reply, just let it go for the most part. Now, if you get a client that doesn't respond to any of your messages, or a prospect that doesn't respond to any of your messages, or your first message, let's say, send follow-ups, but you have to do one of two things to make the follow-up relevant to them so that they will want to respond. Otherwise, they're just going to continue ghosting you. One is you got to provide value. And now, either do one or two. Don't do both of them. One, you got to provide value. So this might look like sending them a case study, sending them a relevant video that you just filmed, like I am maybe now, of how to steal your competitors' prospects on LinkedIn, so that they understand, hey, this is the exact process that Logan's going to implement for me. I now understand this. I'm ready to kind of go forward and book a call with him. Some other things that you can do on the value side of things is maybe send them a relevant post that was going over the process that you use. You always just have to be giving value. Otherwise, you're not going to respond on that side, on the value side of things, because if you just like send a generic follow-up saying, hey, we can make you $20 million, like they're gonna be like, okay, but like everyone's kind of guaranteeing that. Like, why do I want to believe you? And you have to be giving kind of results, to be giving processes to affirm their beliefs. So that's the one side of things, giving value. Side two of things is you have to send kind of like soft follow-ups. Like, no problem, I know you're busy, just wanted to see if you saw my last message. Now, that maybe that seems pushy to you, but for the most part, all of my prospects that have responded to that message have been happy to respond to that message, and do not mind that I'm kind of just bumping it a little bit without saying like, just bumping this. Like, no, I understand what you're going through. Your business is busy right now. It's not a big deal. I was just wondering if you saw this message because I do have something valuable for you. So that's kind of how I think of follow-ups if I'm not going to be giving value. And then I do a 3-step sequence, and all of those kind of follow-up sequence, or those follow-up messages that I'm sending, are all kind of just versions of this. Maybe foreshadowing a little bit of value if possible, but for the most part, just being really shallow, kind of just understanding their business and giving them a reason to potentially follow up with you, or to respond to your message, I guess, and follow up with you. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at the after part of you stole your competitors. Okay, now let's actually get them on calls. Let's make sure that we're using this process as effectively as possible, because you only have so many competitor prospects that you can steal. So you have to be making sure that you're optimizing it, or optimizing your process, and making sure that you're having follow-up so you don't waste these prospects. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you want help implementing this process yourself, then go down below and book a call with us. There's a little short form that you have to fill out, and then you'll be able to talk to us. We can see if we're a good fit, and we'll go from there for actually implementing this process for you. If you want this done with you, then you can also go down below, and there's a form that you can book out, or you can book in a call with us using that form, and we'll go over how we can actually do this with you, so that this process is more repeatable for you. So if you don't have as much time, then I would go for the first option. If you have a little bit more time, you have a little bit more potential like employee capacity that they can do that for you, then awesome. Go in-house with this. And yeah, let's get this process going for you guys. I don't have a ton of spots that are always open, so make sure that you go in and book a call right now. Other than that, though, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have any questions down below that are just a little more shallow, put them down below, and I'll get to them as quick as possible. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.